Oh my god, they're not breathing! Does anyone know CPR?
Red alert! Red alert! What you are hearing now is not a test. Not a test. You are now tuned into LA On Lock Radio, bringing you all the newest and exclusive underground music from Los Angeles to any other city around it. Let's go! Hosted by Log in now.
Talented person who's multi-talented, you know, in so many different things, man. And before we get started, I just wanted to thank everybody that's tuning in, that's always watching us, that's helping our numbers go up on YouTube, as well as Twitch, Twitter, wherever they're streaming from. You know, 3 got this shit locked in everywhere. So we thank you guys for watching always. Every week, you guys are always ready, prepared, commenting, asking questions, calling. That's all we do this for. We don't do this just to get the artists out there. We do this to get y'all involved, to get the fans, the supporters involved, so you can know who these artists are. You know, we always do our best to bring people that are creative, that want to do something with their life, and that have goals and ambitions, and write their plans down and accomplish them. You know, we always try to give you those type of people. And the guest that I have today, I can definitely say, from the success that he's been having, especially so fast, it only has to be hard work and dedication. Yes, so I want to give a big shout out to Compton, one of my favorite cities in the world, because I'm right down the street from it. Compton's very own, man. TJ with the scar, man. What's good, bro?
What it do, man?
How you living, man?
Man, I'm great, man. How you doing?
Good to see you, bro. Good to meet
likewise,
you.
Likewise.
Yeah, man. So Compton's very own, bro. That's very powerful. You know what I'm saying? You know our music background with Compton, from NWA to Easy to, you know, to DOC. I mean, not DOC's not for Compton, but who was I thinking of? MCA, DJ Quick. You know, the list goes on, bro.
Yeah.
And that comes with a big weight on you know, big weight on the people's shoulders. Like, oh, or big shoes to fill in. I gotta fill in the Dre's shoes. I gotta fill in it. You know, what's it feeling like for you as a Compton artist? What do you feel is the most on your mind, looking back at all the greats that we have?
Just being authentic, like, just that. I think being authentic, like, it cuts through, because you can't really try to do what they done. I mean, it's being in the hip hop, like, that's been shunned upon from the gate. Like, you can't bite nobody, you're a biter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just being authentic, who you are, your story. Like, God made us. Nobody has the same fingerprint. Like, every person in the world, there's a different fingerprint. Mm-hmm. Like, you have your own story. God made you how you are. So just being authentic, like, I think it just cuts through. Like, because when it ain't authentic, like, we can see it.
Yeah.
So there's big shoes.
This is a mask.
Yeah, there's big shoes to fill because of the history of the city. But when you're authentic, you just being yourself, and it cuts through.
And I totally agree with that. And I feel like, being from Compton, I don't think any of them bit off each other. I just felt like that's their, you know, each town has a wave. You know what I'm saying? The Alabama, and then they have that South country music. West Coast obviously has that gangster rap and stuff like that. So, you know, I never really looked at it as biting off. I get what you mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have your own style. And the one thing about each and every one of those West Coast artists that I described, especially yourself included, they each have their own style. But you guys are from Compton. You can't help but to talk about a certain thing a certain way. Right. You know, whether it's your own way, it's still like a dude can say, yeah, I fuck with these hoes, and another person can say, I fuck with these bitches. Either way, it's still the same
you know
thing. What I'm saying?
The times change, so the dialogue changed.
Yes, sir.
But it's the stories are familiar.
Exactly.
Because the environment, that the conditions that we grew up under, they're the same. It's just the times are different. It's just like laws change. It's the same damn laws,
right?
But it's just
It's
in
tweaked
different
a little
times.
bit.
That's
Mhm.
all.
So, back to that, obviously we hear in Compton rap music a lot of gang violence, a lot of controversy about criminals, felons, that some even get out of jail just to add more problems. They don't get out to be better. They get out to go right back in.
You're right.
And the media has done a lot, and they played a huge part in making Compton and our local cities, from Linwood to Watts, any of those, they have a big part in making us look like we're terrible, we're crazy, we're violent. All we want to do is fight and cause problems and stuff like that. I like to think that it's deeper than that. It's more than that. People don't just fight to start fights. You know what I'm saying? They go through shit. There's personal things, and a lot of people in the community, they work to fix shit like that. They don't always just like, it doesn't always lead to fighting anymore. It doesn't always lead to gun violence. Some people are able to talk it out and work it out, and the media is not pushing that out there. So
because they don't see that part.
Right.
They don't.
But you do.
But yeah, and it's that part. It's not glorified. It doesn't sell stories.
Right.
It doesn't sell stories.
But here at LA Unlocked, we sell that because we need you to know that that's who. Compton is not, and this is for any city where you're from, and if you're being labeled the wrong way, stand up for yourself. I'm going to stand up for Compton. I'm going to stand up for all our inner cities around us, because it isn't always bad, bro.
No, we had great times growing up in the city. Like, there's...
Talk about it. Talk about
like,
growing up.
Growing up, like, man, it was just fun. Like, it was just being a kid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure everybody's shooting marbles, fixing bikes. You know what I'm saying?
Like football on the streets.
Football on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like that upbringing, like, you don't get that nowhere else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it builds character, because we made something out of absolutely nothing. When you talking about turning a milk crate into a basketball court, nailing it on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, ripping up the bottom parts.
Exactly.
So
you making something out of nothing. My boy Rocky, he had this damn bike, dog. He out of wood. He built a speaker out of wood. Wow. Took a speaker out. I don't know where he got the speaker from, but he put it on back of his bike. Yeah. He had an amp on it, like on an actual beach cruiser, like
had it going.
Out of nothing. Like, that's just who we are.
We're not a town of criminals like they portray us to be. We're a town just like everybody else, of inventors, of future doctors, future teachers.
It's just we don't have the resources to channel that those talents that we have. Is like I said, my boy came up with this was back in the 90s. Right. You know what I'm saying? To where now they got bikes with speakers and all type. You know what I'm saying?
Bluetooth, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like he came up with this decades ago. Yeah. But it just not having the resources of being exposed to, not just saying, okay, I did it for myself. Like, this can actually be a business to be able to create generational income for generations to come. So it's just having the resources and just the outlets to be able to channel that energy. And the media, they don't see that, and like I said, they don't sell stories, so that's not what they're gonna push. Right. So it's up to us to bring that to the light. And even when, there's a lot of great things that a lot of people do in the city. Right. Just during the whole pandemic, we had a whole Compton march, like against police violence. Like, it was so many people.
The free food. There's people out there days. It was like, for real, days and hours just giving out free food.
Yeah,
like, that's and they're not even getting paid for it.
And it got a little media attention, but it wasn't like as if when somebody shot somebody and they running that.
If some rich guy comes and donates, $100,000 or whatever to a building to get his name on there, they put that on.
Oh yeah, they gonna run that because it sells a story. And to a certain extent, being a business owner, so I understand that it's a business and they have bosses that they have to listen to, and it's like they trying to sell a story, but at the same time, when it gets to the higher ups, they're pushing a narrative.
Oh yeah,
they're pushing a narrative, and they know what that is, and it's about gain for them, but it's shining a negative light on the inner cities, and it's crazy, and it's been going on forever. It hasn't changed.
Yeah, man. But like you said, you know, before we gotta shed light on that. We gotta be the and that's why I love that bro has me over here, and this is LA on Lock. We do this for every other state. It doesn't matter where you're from, but we do this specifically for LA to let people know that there's so much talent, man. There's so many people, not even music wise, there's people that are activists. They're trying to do good for the community. They're trying to help make LA not seem so that when people think of LA, they don't only think of Hollywood as the nice part. They think of LA, I mean, oh, LA's a nice area, you know, instead of just the constant ghetto. And I feel like we're the only ones that's able to push that out there. So
yeah, you have to be, because I mean, if you don't, who gonna do it?
Right.
Who gonna do it?
Yeah. So to go back to your childhood, I saw this interview that you did, and you mentioned that and it's crazy. I love this because, man, he was such a young age, but you did a song. You wrote a song at 9 years old.
Oh.
Tell them what you wrote the song about, bro.
The song was, I mean, it was about my neighborhood,
Right?
Because that's all that I knew.
Yeah.
Like I'm a child, so it ain't like I can just go. I'm not an adult, so I can't just go. I can only go where my mother allowed me to go, and this is where I was at. So it was about the people that me and my friends we looked up to in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can rap about, and
that's hip hop.
That's hip hop.
Yep.
Yeah.
But throughout my career, like that's how my music has always been. It's about telling stories. And I seen Jay-Z say this once, and I was like, he's actually right. Like, as long as I'm alive, I can always do music because I'm consistently living. So I'm always gonna have a story to tell. And that's when you just being genuine and authentic. When you trying to create this facade, if you're gonna run out of content.
Right.
But as long as I'm living, just this conversation today, I can write a whole song about my experience with you guys here today.
That's true.
So as long as I'm living, I can always have content. But like, man, to go back to it, like as far as my childhood, like just writing that rap, the first rap that I ever, it was Mind Playing Tricks on Me beat.
Okay.
Yeah, by the Ghetto Boys.
By the Ghetto Boys, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first rap that I ever wrote. I don't remember none of the lyrics, but it was, you know, and back then I put it on a tape.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? I had to rap it into the speaker, to my radio to get it onto the tape.
Yeah, I know those times.
It was crazy.
Tough, you know?
Yeah, it was crazy. And, you know, I had a tape, and that's how it started for me.
Yeah, I like that, man. I love that hustle and that dedication, especially at a young age. You know, what made me chuckle a little bit wasn't even out of disrespect. It was just funny because, like, most 9-year-olds, if they're making music, if they're being artists, they're trying to like get the girls' attention. They're rapping like that's their main focus. You know, I want to rap about the girls. And that's cool. But no 9-year-old really raps about their neighborhood and their block. And that was really interesting to me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because at that time, it's like, yeah, I was 9 years old, but I mean, when I think about my son, like right now, he's 8. He think girls are girls. Like he not thinking about girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just about me and my friends and what we do. So that's what I knew. So that's what I rapped about. And I didn't even know that I knew how to rap. It just, I liked the song. I had the cassette. And back then, the singles had the single, had the clean, and it had an instrumental on it.
Yeah, I remember those.
It had an instrumental.
They did that for demo CDs too.
Yeah, it had an instrumental. So I'm listening to it, and I'm like, oh, it got a beat, and then it just happened. Like, it's not something like I was just like, oh, I want to be a rapper. Yeah. It's just something that materialized.
Okay, so that goes into my later question that I had, but I'll ask you now. Was there anyone involved in music in your, like, what motivated you to want to pick up that microphone aside from you know being able to talk about your block and your neighborhood? Was there someone that you looked at or that you saw was like, oh damn, it could be a celebrity or a friend?
Most definitely. Like, I wrote that rap years later. I've never touched music again, never revisited ever again at that point until I'm a teenager now. My cousins, they had an independent deal. And I was like, okay, they rap. You know, I went to a few of their shows. It was cool. But then they got an advancement check. And I'm like, wait, y'all got paid for this? Like that turned me all the way on. It's like, oh no, I'm on this. I'm doing this. Because I know how to do it because I did it before. I'm interested, but y'all just got paid. And I'm talking about money that as a child, I mean, I'm still a teenager, so this money I've never seen in my life. I'm like, yo, y'all got that from rapping? I can do that.
It really makes you think, like, damn, man, like, what other thing will make me happy and make me love what I'm doing, except for whatever it is that does that for me.
And I even put it in a song. Like, I got the song, it's called All the Way. And one of the lyrics is like, when I started, it was out of love. It wasn't about the respect until my cousin signed the deal and got advancement check. Like, at that, what I mean by that is, I was just doing rap for the love.
Right.
It wasn't about the respect, and the respect came in once I seen they got a check. So I figured, okay, in order to get a check, you got to be nice. So that's what I mean. It was for the love. It wasn't about the respect until I seen my cousin get advancement check. Oh, I got to be nicer than y'all because I want to be in a group. I want the check. So that's what started me. And one of my cousins in the group, Stray Dog, like I was just going, like, in my neighborhood, my friends they called me No Good, and that's what I was just going as. But my family always called me TJ.
Okay.
Like, just because my last name is Tillman and I'm a junior. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
From as long as I can remember being alive, I've always been TJ.
Okay.
So one day in their studio sessions, he said some bandana, some with my nigga Scarface, Mr. TJ Santana. And everybody in the studio is like, oh! And I'm like, damn, that was catchy. Like, and then after a while, and everybody start calling me that, and they're like, you gonna roll with him? And I'm just like, nah, I'm going with No Good. And they like, nah, you gotta go with TJ Santana. Like that, it just fits.
Yeah. It does, man.
And that's what I started. When I started my music career, that's what I was going as.
Yeah, because I think of No Good, and to be honest, man, I would listen to TJ with the Scar instead of No Good, just because I would hear No Good and I'd be like, all right, here's I'm not hearing, but I would think of the name and I'll be like, here's a guy who probably doesn't think that, you know?
Yeah.
And it sounds cliche, but I'm sure everybody will probably think, oh, this guy's already self-doubting himself. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as opposed to TJ with the Scar, who you have something that people will look at or maybe even poke fun of, but you're embracing it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You're proud of it, and you're like Scarface, for example.
Exactly.
You know? He, you know what I'm saying. He embraced that, and he was the baddest motherfuckers in the world. You know what I mean?
Most
so,
definitely.
well, he was a fictional character, but you know, the real
real
Scarface
Scarface,
that
right.
it's based on. You know,
exactly.
but you know what I mean. And it's just like sometimes people are given things, and we like to think that when we get a mistake that it's fucked up and it's ruined for us, not knowing that mistakes are a great reason, a great opportunity to learn from a lesson and be better
and turn it into a positive. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
so I want to get back into music, man. I want to continue more with the music part of the interview. What were you listening to growing up? You know what I'm saying? Did you have the vinyl records? Did you have tapes?
Like I like the late 80s, early 90s. Like because back in that time, like I watched a lot of TV.
Okay.
And this was like Yo MTV Raps at that time. You know what I'm saying? I watched Big Daddy Kane. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One.
Oh, I love KRS-One.
Rakim, MC Light, BDP. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Self-Destruction. Yeah.
Awesome.
Like Rob Bass. Like this.
So
is,
you fuck with Roxanne?
Of course, all that. Yeah.
And Marty Marr.
Yeah. The symphony was, when that came, that was the hardest beat I've ever heard in my life. Like the symphony, it was like just the beat came. I was like, damn, like this is. I always wanted to redo that beat. Just because to me it was just the hardest beat ever at that time. But that's the music that's what I grew up listening to, because that's what was on TV.
Okay.
And it was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like Big Daddy Kane, MC Light, Queen Latifah,
Yeah,
like
okay,
that.
MC Light, yeah.
That era, like it was not. It wasn't the beginning, but just say for instance, like on a street level. You have the OGs and then you got the BGs. Like they was just
Right,
like the BGs. You know what I'm saying? It was the second generation, and it was just.
But you gotta understand, like, I felt like they set they paved the way for real lyricism to make you, you know, to get on the song and snap and talk about, and not that the Furious Five that they didn't. They were you know, Sugar Hill Gang.
Right.
They were talking somewhat about the streets, but MC Light and Queen Latifah came in. And Q-Tip and them, like they were rugged, you know what I'm saying? They were conscious rappers that weren't afraid to talk shit and cuss, you know what I'm saying?
And that was a thing, and they had stories. They had a story to tell, and just the lyrics, like just the content, like they had songs. It wasn't just
right. Georgie Porgy will always be my favorite song in the world, bro. MC Light,
it was
man.
dope. It was dope. Like just that generation of music, like I love. I mean, as far as business wise, I believe like the late, or the early '90s. I would say like the Death Row, Bad Boy era, moving on into the that's the golden era of hip hop. Like that's when hip hop was making the most money. They sold the most units. But I grew up, like I said, on Big Daddy Kane, MC Light. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what was on
that's
television.
The Mecca.
That was it right there. You know
where they're from is the Mecca, so you know that New York ain't gonna. I mean, there are some whack New York rappers, but at the time, New York, especially being hip hop was still fresh, people were excited, man. So can you just imagine a world without Nas and then hearing Nas? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't old enough when Nas first came out, but
people may crucify me for this, but I don't care. For this day, I've never listened to Illmatic all the way through.
Okay.
Never. I tried. Now it was written his second album. Oh, I'm a fucking fan. I love it. Like it resonated with me. Just the content, the sonically, it mixed in with what I like. Like the I couldn't relate to the content of Illmatic. It was just too New York, just the sound, just sonic wise, and I was too young to. It didn't connect. It didn't connect with me at all.
Gotcha.
But it was written with "I Ruled the World." Like that shit was. It took the world by storm.
And so you see that's a perfect example that sometimes you just you hear an artist and maybe you might not like him at first, but if you just give him a chance, you know, I was just talking to Three about this with movies and shows and stuff. You know, there's some shows I'm watching for like 5 minutes and I'm like, no, I'm good. But then I catch myself bored, right? One day and I'm like, you know what, let me just finish watching this shit. And I finished watching it and I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you said it already and you were set in your way that Illmatic just wasn't your cup of tea. But had you have kept that mentality and said, you know what, I don't fuck with Nas because of that, you wouldn't have heard it was written and you wouldn't have liked it so much. And you know, so it's good to give people a chance, man.
Definitely. Yeah, like you never can just write someone off. It just, like I said, it just didn't connect with me, and it's not gonna connect with everybody. Sometimes everything ain't for everybody. You like you said, you may catch on later and you go back and revisit it. Okay, I caught you on the back end. I didn't catch you on the first run. That it's okay. It's okay because even with Jay-Z, when he first came out, my homeboy Cat, it was Jay-Z, and like he was rapping too fast for me. I couldn't catch it.
When he first came out with Jaz-O,
it was.
You know where he got that style from? And I want to say this and think that I think it's true, but because I only ever heard him rap like that was a Big L. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jay-Z, and they were close. You know, it's not like they bid off each other, but they were close. But you just hear the similarities. Like, let's give me a minute. You know, when Big L rapped like that, and when they did Graveyard, the song Graveyard together, you know, you hear the similarity in the fast rap.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it just didn't connect.
Yeah.
But once he slowed it down, and when he came with that joint with Mary, I was like, oh, I can feel this.
Yeah.
Like it. So most of the part of it for me, it starts sonically, because that's what I hear first. I hear the music before I hear the lyrics. So if I can't feel the music, there's no way I'm not going to just get into the lyrics. I'm not even giving it a chance, because the music to me sonically it's a cringe.
Right.
It's just not connecting. It's like, it's not my cup of tea. Like I said, everything is not for everybody. But doubling back around, from there on, once he got me, now I'm open. I was like, oh, he got lyrics. I want to hear what he's saying. Some of the beats may not be what I like, but oh, he was saying some shit. Now I'm a fan forever.
And I want to touch base on back. It's just because it's so cool how we're both West Coast artists, but East Coast is like it is everything to us. You know, East Coast hip hop, East Coast rap is everything to us. So, you know, talk more on that. Like how were you able to be more? And not let me rephrase. I'm not saying you're more of a fan, but what separates the liking of the East Coast a little bit more than the West Coast? Because I hear you talking more about, you know, I see you talk about the East Coast artists and you fuck with them and you like them.
It's just like, the best way I can explain it is, that's what I grew up as a kid. Like, I have those memories of what I was doing at that time when I heard that music.
Okay.
It's my first introduction to really loving music. So that's where it comes from. Like, and it just expanded. It's just like your first girlfriend. It's like the first time you fell in love. Like, it's just your first. The first time you rode a bike. It always has a special place with you.
Yeah, it resonates big time. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what it, like, that's just what I grew up on. And from there, I start to love other things. And then at that point, after NWA, then the West started to produce more music. For a period of time, that was...
You're right, around your time. Yeah,
that was it. It was nothing but the East Coast. That was it.
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane, MC Lyte, Latifah, Naughty by... Like, that's... Well, not now, because they came
Naughty
later.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, all that early stuff, that was it. You couldn't... You may have seen MC8 and them on TV, but it wasn't...
Yeah, that wasn't
every
in our
day,
face.
all...
Yeah,
No. And the music was good.
Yeah.
It was great. I'm not gonna even say it was good. It was great. It had substance. So for me, it was just it. I talk about it more because I just have. It was first. That's how I fell in love with it.
Gotcha. No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? When somebody's favorite football team is because of their parents or whatever, you know. Say your dad likes the Raiders, and that's why you're Raiders. It's because that's what you first saw.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is for me with the music. That's what I fell in love with first. So, and it's my foundation.
Okay.
Moving forward, now you building a house. You building.
Exactly.
You building.
Exactly.
So that's my foundation. And without your foundation, anything you build on a fucked up foundation,
it's almost like
it's gonna crumble.
There's no plan.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
So tell us more about your goals with this music career. You know what I'm saying? What do you? And I'm not even trying to ask you like a 5-year, 10-year plan. What are you in this industry for? What are you in this business to do? Like, you know, go ahead.
Really, to change my family lives.
Okay.
Just being 100% straight honest. Like, I'm in it to change lives. Like, music has changed people's lives for the best, and that's what I'm in it for, because I've seen it done so many times, and this is something that I'm good at. I'm passionate about. I love it, and these are some of the rewards. Like, and when you doing, and sometimes some people don't even get the rewards.
Yeah.
Just say, for instance, like somebody like Charles Barkley, he just all over the place, but he never got a championship.
Right.
But at the same time, he's still Charles Barkley. So for me, it's just about being able to change my family lives, our living structure, being able to create the thing. Because when you have influence, there's corporations that want to buy into your brand.
Right.
And then you can use that to put other people in position. Okay, I may not be able to do that, but I got family over here, I got my friends over here, I can put you in position. And just building to generational wealth. I hate to use the term, but that's what it's
No,
about.
that's the goal, man.
That's the
And
goal.
especially anybody that comes from the neighborhood, from the hood, we don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying?
And that's about design. It's about design.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. When we do get that, it's like, I don't think it's cliche at all, or I don't think it's bad to use at all, because you got to understand, if we've never had a cheeseburger, and then somebody is, because our parents never would let us have a cheeseburger, then we find a way to get our hands on the burger and we eat it and we enjoy that shit. We love the hell out of it. So the same is with generational wealth and money. If we've never had it and then we finally get a little taste of it, like you said with your cousins when they got that deal,
Right.
it not changes you like sometimes it changes people, but I think it makes you step your game up, because it's like, I want more of this, and I want this to keep coming in.
Yeah, and,
you know,
and that's what it's about for me. It's about being able to put my people in position to change lives forever.
Right.
Because
No handouts, giving them jobs or
exactly.
titles. Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
putting them. That's why I said putting them in position.
Right.
You're not gonna put someone in position that can't do the job.
Yeah.
You just put them in position to be able to create something that's a legacy that's gonna be here long after I'm gone. And that's what I'm in it for, to create a legacy. That's what that summarize it right there, legacy.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
And I know you have a business mind state, because you weren't thinking like every other rapper, I'm gonna put my family on up. No, you said I'm gonna put them in a position.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's a difference from putting a family member in a position and putting them on.
Yeah.
You know, and putting them on because you be like, here goes money. You know,
Right. Exactly.
let me make a few calls. No, putting someone in a position of what you're talking about, I would like to think is you're gonna try to train them.
Yeah, you gotta you gotta put in work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be easy.
And that's the type of generational wealth that I feel people should have, where all your family is doing their part, like the Kardashian family, for example.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's a generational wealth that the dad was a lawyer, so yeah, maybe he was rich, but he wasn't Kim Kardashian
Rich, exactly.
So their wealth would have probably, you know, if Kim didn't do her thing, their wealth probably would have ended, because he died. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they would have died.
I'm not laughing at the fact.
No, I get it.
I'm not laughing at him dying. I'm just the
No.
fact that you said if Kim didn't do her thing when her thing was sex tapes.
Yeah, no. And there's a part 2 out there. There's a part 2 out there. We're just letting y'all know Kim got a part 2 that Ray J and Whack 100 got. So, you know.
But yeah,
Allegedly.
yeah. that was just funny to be my bad.
No, I get it, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that she is a prime example, though, and that doesn't have to be sex tape. It can.
Right.
She could have been a singer or whatever. Whatever she did. She opened doors for her own family so that she can get her sister in a position, train her sister to do shit. All her sisters, her mom as well. You know what I'm saying?
Now they're all bosses.
Yeah.
They're all
You know?
bosses, even the younger ones.
And I love that, because I can't wait till Saint or Stormy or all, you know, Kanye and Travis's kids with them grow up, because they're gonna, you know, I don't feel like they're just gonna be spoiled. I feel like with parents like Kim and Kanye and Travis Scott, you know, you're gonna have parents that are gonna cement into your head that, hey, if you want us to keep being rich so that your kids can have kids, you gotta play a role. You gotta play a position. Just because you're my daughter, yeah, I'm a baby you, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna give you the world.
Of course, like you have to, and I say this all the time. It's like the school system. They teach you how to be a worker, which there's nothing wrong with being a worker.
Yeah.
My thing is, you work, but create an exit strategy to where you're working towards being the
Right.
boss.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
And they don't teach that in
they
school.
don't teach
or
that.
credit or none
they
of
don't
that.
teach none of that in school. They don't teach you. They don't give you none of the tools that you're gonna need when you get out of high school. They say, okay, you go to college, and now you're going to college for 4 to 8 years. You done literally wasted. I mean, if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, you got to go to school. There's no way around it. You got to.
Yeah.
Off top.
You have to do that because medicine and laws continuously change, so you have to continue to practice. That's what you have to do. But as far as like, I know people with these degrees and they can't get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
They can't get a job. So it's like,
And they be good ass degrees, a
Good ass
master's
degrees.
or
and sometimes they may even hit you with you're overqualified.
and that's terrible.
What
I've
the
heard of that.
fuck does that mean?
I've heard of that. Yeah.
What does that mean? How am I overqualified? If I'm here, I'm telling you, I can do the job.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm overqualified. So like, my thing is like, you have to teach your children young about credit. Credit is everything. I don't give a damn how much money you have. Credit can get you in rooms that money cannot.
Right.
Period.
Facts.
Like you can. Me and my boy, we was just talking. Me and T Mac, we was just talking while I was on my way here, and we was talking about somebody was saying like, yeah, they was doing this, and they made all of this money, but they don't even have it in a bank account because they can't put it in a bank because of how they got the money.
Right.
They can't even go buy real estate with the money, and their credit is fucked up.
Wow.
So it's like, how you gonna rinse that? What you gonna do?
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Opposed to someone who doesn't have, they worked and they got a little money, but their credit is great to where they can go buy them
They
a
don't
house.
even need to put money down.
They don't have to
Yeah.
put money down. Your credit is everything, dog.
Yeah.
Credit is everything.
Credit is like it's like that money that you can't see, but if it's there, if your credit is good, it's there.
It's there. It's
that
definitely
money
there.
is there. You
It's
know what
there.
I'm saying? It's like save when you put money in your savings, you don't see it, but you know it's there.
You know it's there.
You know what
Like
I'm
it's
saying?
that leverage.
Yeah.
It gives you
Yeah,
leverage.
that leverage. That's a good way to use it.
It
Yeah.
gives you leverage
Hell yeah.
because you can use your credit to obtain liquid cash if that's what you wanted to do. But
That's definitely.
you need credit, like, and that's something that they need to teach in the schools as far as credit, taxes, real estate. These are the things that they need to be teaching in high school
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's what you're gonna need to really succeed in life. But that's not what they teaching you.
And it's a shame. It was my assistant football coach, right? The assistant to the football coach. He's the one that taught me and like 3 of my homies about credit. You know, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna break this down for you. Go to one of these little spots. Like this thing called a Curacao. It's like it's sort of like a Costco, but like for the Latin community or whatever it's called. Curacao.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they have a bunch of
Oh
stuff.
man, I went.
Yeah.
Oh man, I went in there. What? Oh, remember where you are?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Man, I'm on the
Credit.
freeway. I'm going, and I don't know what the hell. Oh, I just bought a house
Okay.
last year.
Congrats. Hell yeah.
Congrats.
So I'm looking for something, and I'm going to this place to look at furniture, and I see some shit on the side, and I'm like, that looked like it's a furniture store, but it says the name, but I go in there, man. There was so much shit in there. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
this,
everything, bro.
like, man, how many times I done passed this place up, and they got everything in
Yeah.
there. But yeah,
And it's like it's like one of those when you go to those discount or those general stores and they have everything. Now just imagine a general store for electronic name brands. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So he was
Yeah.
telling me, just go over there, get you a credit for like $50 for one of those little watches.
Mhm.
Pay that $50 or whatever you got, and bam, you just got good credit off of that.
Exactly.
And so on, and he made it so simple by that little watch, and he said get $50 credit for that. Like, as a kid, I'm not gonna lie, before him talking to me, I looked at credit as it's something like a lot of money and it's big and you gotta have this much to, I didn't know about that until he told me, most of these people get good credit by buying little shit,
Yeah, and
little
it,
$10, $20 shit.
but it builds up because it shows that you're responsible. You paid the money back.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you paid $10 back, you paid $50 back.
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll give you 500. You pay 500 back. Oh, well we'll give you 3,000. You know, you pay the 3. You did good with the 3,000. Oh, we'll give you 10,000. And it just builds up. And then once you got it, now you get multiple 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, 12,000.
Yeah.
Now you look up, you got $50,000 cars, $70,000 cars. It's like, it's there.
And the biggest thing is no down payment, man. And you're so right on. Credit is just, even Jay-Z said it, man. Like, what's more pertinent than throwing money in a club or whatever? Credit. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like how you even said it earlier, bro. Them strippers are gonna take all that money, but some of them can't even go to their bank account or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
Especially, you know, with all that money, they're gonna get taxed heavy.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Kill 'em.
So it's just it's good to have an artist. I already know your business mindset, but you're an artist too. So I think that's so awesome because a lot of artists, they come into this shit thinking that all you need to do is just make music and write lyrics. And although that's a major key, that is not the only key. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to look for who to ship that song to. Now you got to look where to record that song. You know,
because it's a business, though. It's called the music business.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
music business. You're doing business transactions, and whether you're going to a studio, you paying somebody to utilize their facility.
Yeah.
You just made a business transaction. According to the government, that money was supposed to get taxed
Right.
because it transferred from one hand to the next. You just made a business transaction. And like you said, now you got your music. Back in the day, you had to go press it up.
Right.
You just made another business transaction. You got artwork. You just made another business transaction. This is the music business. Everything that you're doing is business. And some people don't look at it that way, but that's what it is.
So let's go down to this. I wanted to ask. This is one of the when I told you that a question I didn't ask, but that I didn't write down. But you know, as the conversation was going, independent or signed, and elaborate why.
Great question.
Because each have, and I asked this,
there's perks.
yeah,
in
they
each one.
each have perks, but also each have their downsides.
I would say major 10 to 15 years ago. The reason why I say that because during that time they was giving out millions of dollars.
The deals were great.
Yeah,
Deals
because
were
you were
great.
getting
Yeah.
CDs sold. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Today, I would say independent, but distribution through a major.
Yeah.
That's the smartest way to go, because just being independent but having major backing,
Right.
because you still especially if you don't have a team. Like they have that you may not. It's so much, especially in today's time. Now you got the Spotify's, you got the Apple. Like everything it's a la carte. It ain't just we pushing it out to everything. Like some people don't even have. If you don't have an Apple phone, if you don't have an iPhone, you don't got Apple. You don't have Apple and iTunes. So now you on Spotify, and vice versa. So it's a la carte. So I would say. That's my answer. I would say major back in the days, but today I would say independent with a major backing. Someone like a Empire or Fontana Distribution, or even one of the majors. Just long as you're having your independence to where they don't own 100% of your rights.
Right. And you can still be creative.
Exactly.
And focus on your.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because today. You really, like, you can put the stuff out yourself. You can get it out to the world, but this is why I say you need that infrastructure, because once you put it out, now you got to promote it. You got to get it to the people, and not just your people. The thing is to get it to people that don't know you.
Right.
So, and if it's not something to where it just genuinely catches on, and then people are just sharing it, like, you need to get it in front of the people.
That's why you're right, and that's why that job. Those publicists, that's why they have those jobs.
Exactly.
Because They know when you go to a fast food restaurant, you expect them to the cook that's back there. You're not gonna get sick off your food, and you're gonna get
Exactly.
a nice meal. And the same thing goes with them. You know, their job is to make sure that you're not gonna get false advertisement. You're not gonna get fake followers. That you're really gonna be out here. We're gonna try to push you to these magazines
Exactly.
and blogs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
you definitely need a team. So like I said, majors back in the day because the money was greater, but like you said, the downfall is they own 100% of everything. You didn't own shit.
Yeah.
You were a slave, and that's why they own your masters.
All right.
and it's just being an independent artist, and I've been an independent artist for a long, long time. I see these other artists that are signed, and even these famous artists that post up their problems and shit like that. It gets me, and I get anxiety from their shit. You know what I'm saying? I start thinking like, what if it's me? Like, what if I sign and they want me to start dressing like this, and I fucked up, and I already, shit like that gives you anxieties. How would you deal if say you were to sign with somebody, and then they start telling you they want you to dress this way, and they want to, you know what I'm saying, which is nothing wrong with the way you dress, you're fly, but they want you to you know.
I wouldn't be able to do it because that. I'm in a position now to where I have, like we was talking, you have leverage, to where I'm not even finna entertain. I'm not even finna put myself into a deal to where you have that dictatorship over me. That's just out the gate, and they're not even giving out enough money from the majors, and that's another reason why I wouldn't choose a major today.
Right.
Because they're not even giving you that much money to even sign to them. Because if a major wants to sign you today, you don't need them at that point.
Right.
Because they're only coming to you because you already
They need
you done gained so much traction, you done came across their radar. So if a major's coming to you saying, "Hey, I want to sign you," and they putting, "Okay, I got $100,000 check in front of you," that's because you don't even need them. You don't need them at that point. Yeah. Now, if you negotiate distribution, okay, that's cool. Great. But as far as just signing over my rights and I owe you 4 to 7 albums, not doing that.
And I like to look at that as you've been to college. You went to college, or
I went to college for 1 year.
So you know how it is. It's like we're giving the student loans and all that, just like we're giving the advancement. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody becomes a doctor or a lawyer. Right. But you still gotta pay. Yeah,
you still.
And that's exactly how it is. Because I use this metaphor because I speak to kids too at schools and stuff like that. And I try to educate them a little bit on what I know. Because I read books on the industry, and I don't know everything, but a little bit of stuff that I know about getting managers. How many of you want to go to college? And then I start breaking it down like I was just telling you right now. How many people want to be an artist? There's no difference with that. The only difference is, what I'm saying? I mean, the similarity is that, not everybody's going to sell platinum albums. Not everybody's going to go gold. But, if the label decides to, because some people can rip your contract, but if the label decides to, they can keep you in debt and be like, hey, you know what? You are somewhat of a popular rapper, so we're just going to use you to, we're going to put a lot. But that's where the whole, now we're going to have you looking like how we want you to dress now. Yeah. Why do you think artists do that?
No options. Like, I mean, if this is the person that's putting the money onto my table, and they're telling me this is what I have to do to be able to keep being fed, like, it's like you feel like you have no option. But I feel like that was more back in the day. Like today, the business has changed. They're not really signing unsigned artists. Like I said, if they're signing you today, it's because you already created some sort of buzz for yourself. Yeah. So you have that leverage to not be able to even put yourself in that type of situation. Now I have, and I learned this from dealing. We'll get into that with child support.
Okay.
They have this thing. It's called ignorance of the law is not a legal defense. So you may create a buzz for yourself, and you may have this value, and then they come to you and say, okay, we want to sign you, and then you sign over a 4-album deal
without reading.
It's like, bruh, they presume that you knew your value.
Right.
Once they find, that's on you if you don't know your value. We presume that you know because we at this point, and then you still put yourself in that position.
I wanna, cause I really love this and I wanna keep this going. But 3, you think we can get some music going out? You know, for everybody out there.
Yeah.
Everybody that's gonna be watching this, you know, we appreciate you, and we're gonna have Bro's links down there, so you could always look and check him out, check out his music. We still got way more to talk about in this interview, and I'm not done. I'm so blessed to have you here, man. I'm grateful to have you here, man. Thank you for your time. We're gonna keep it going. You know, we're gonna play some music. Did you want to get into his song already, or did you want to, you know, warm it up a little bit?
Play some other stuff.
Yeah, let's warm it up before we get. And we got a big song by Bro, and it's by. All I can tell y'all is this is a Compton native, a very popular, famous, incredible Compton rapper, and man, I know you're ecstatic to have him on the song with you.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to get on that too a little bit later.
For sure.
So you know,
You got any throwbacks we can play, or you want to get into those? Or
Say that one time.
you got any old joints you want to play, or?
Yeah, we can play. Look up the Young Hogs.
Okay.
Max Me Out.
We're gonna do this live.
You know when it's live TV.
Okay.
Impromptu. Young Hogs.
Young Hogs. What is he?
No, HOGGS.
GGS. What's the name of the song?
Max Me Out.
and was that a group that you were in?
Yeah, that
or?
was the group that I was in. Yeah.
Okay,
There,
cool.
That's the video right there.
Wow, nice. So we about to get into some old school music by TJ with the Scar. You want to introduce this one, bro?
Yo, this TJ with the Scar, and right now you about to check out Max Me Out by the Young Hogs.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
LA on lock.
Here we go.
It's the hottest in the motherfucking building. Children, gas, no break, no yielding. Wheelmen, bitches all shades like Brazilian Sicilian. Trying to make love to a million. I couldn't help but tell them that I really knew the feeling. My paint so wet, my sheets reptilian. Got dank on deck, my drink keeps spilling. 100 miles and running while I'm hanging out the ceiling. Illin' hoes, how to surround this bitch, getting green. Made my whole team hood rich. 26 and shit, BF Goodrich. Pull up, park, jump out and just look at my shit. And it's something like stupid in the trunk. You acting all dumb, I get stupid with the palm. King Killer, Hoezilla in the flesh. He stuck while I'm ripping that ass. Top notch on my fashion. I'm Billy D on my swaggin'. Nothing less than 23s on the wagon. She better have some triple D's if we saggin'. Cause you gotta valet the black car light. Drop the black hard light. Buy the whole bar light.
I smoke that on everything I love. We be in the club, turn that shit up till that bitch go dumb. Yeah, she wanna come, bring her over here. 94 drew down, Mac of the year. Swag game crazy, look high raising. Beat neck slim fit, white boy AIDS. Yeah, I'm moving fast, real fast, never reckless. Get money early, AM breakfast.
Stop, hold up, way before you go. Score your boy some H2O from the stove. This fire, yep, it's gon' work. I can see him right now, low, getting that jerk. Elbows out off that drum. Got a nice piece, little freak to take home. When the clothes off, birth control on. Don't mean to be blunt, but around here we keeps it on.
Top notch on my fashion. I'm Billy D on my swaggin'. Nothing less than 23s on the wagon. She better have some triple D's if we saggin'. Cause you gotta valet the black car light. Drop the black
me a light switch. Bad little white bitch, ass and some nice tits. I had to grab her, hit the flow with me right quick. That you're touching on some like a nice hit. You better watch it, some gon' be sticking out. Slam the last shot, now me and her dipping out. We on the 4-5, headed to the room. Hand on the thinner now, watching niggas zoom. I hit the exit, tripping need raps. One hand on the burner, I ain't slipping like that. I gotta keep it hood like in every situation. Check it, my ES in heavy rotation. I got her pent up, knees to her earlobes. I'm trying to get behind that, hit me with the rear code. She can't handle it, she in tear mode. Gave her a face paint, and then I told the hoe.
Top notch on my fashion, I'm Billy D on my swaggin'. Nothing less than 23s on the wagon. She better have some triple D's if we saggin'. Cause you gotta valet the black or light. Drop the black or light. Buy the whole or light. They know I'm a starlight.
That song was really good. We're live now. We're back. That was actually, I was gonna say TJ, but that's actually the Young Hogs.
The Young Hogs, yeah.
The group. So before we get further into the interview, man, talk about that, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's dope.
That's how I
I'm
started.
gonna tell you this because, bro, when I do interviews, I do homework, right? Bro, I was going everywhere. I was like, all right, I know he gotta have another song in this
like
one.
three.
You
This is
know?
the only song.
Like three,
I
like,
might know. Trust me.
I was really out here trying to, man.
Yeah,
That song
so
was fun, energetic.
Yeah,
I loved
so
it.
I'm one of the members of the group, the Young Hogs.
Okay.
The Young Hogs, we started off with BG Knockout and Drayson out of Compton.
Yeah, I remember BG and Tracy. Yeah.
So that's what
Well,
we
it's the knockout.
exactly. That's where we started from.
Nice.
Went on to do work with Dub C.
Okay.
Went on to do work for Death Row. Mac 10, and we put out our own mixtape, the Dirty West mixtapes, and like that was mainly my career. Like I never wanted to do a solo. Like I was always a part of the group. I never wanted to do solo. But the thing is, as you get older and life starts to happen, you have children. Now you got responsibilities.
Yeah.
So
you need those solo checks.
and not even solo checks. It's just life happened. Like when we was doing the Hogs, like when we started off, nobody had kids.
Okay.
So we didn't have responsibilities. So we have all day to spend in the studio.
Yeah.
We didn't have no responsibilities. So when life happens, you can't do that all day. Now you got to go get a job because now you got these responsibilities. So then life happened. Now you some moving to Lancaster, some moving out to the IE. We're not together every day. So because life happens. So like the group, man, is we started young, and like we've been in it. Like the first time we came out professionally was in 2000 on the Death Row album, Two Gangsta for Radio. We had the title track with Drayster on Death Row, Two Gangsta for Radio. That was the first thing that we ever came out on professionally. Well, I take that back. Young Shame and Drayster, they had a song with Dub C called Survival of the Fittest. They put it out, and I think that was like 99, somewhere around there. Yeah.
So seeing your what you've been through, you know, you've seen what it's like to get signed. You've seen what it's like to go independent. What do you think? How can I rephrase this question? What do you think is more important to what should be more important to the artist? To focus on trying to get signed, or to focus on
the creative part?
Yeah.
The
I was
creative.
gonna say just
I don't even know what you was gonna say, but the creative
no,
part.
it's just working on their music.
That's working on your craft, because that's the most important part. Because whether you signed or not, the music has to be great, and you have to continue to get better because you're putting it out to the world.
Plus, it's your music, so you gotta enjoy it as well.
So, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And, like, you putting this out to the world, you have to continuously get better. And so, like, working on that to whether you signed or not, you still gonna. So just because you're not signed, you're not gonna do music.
Right.
No, you're gonna continue to do music. So that's the most important part.
I think most of the people, they look at getting signed, and it's just that paycheck and
Yeah.
you know, that lifestyle. But that lifestyle comes from that paycheck, so you know that's all included. But I just feel like they look at that paycheck and then they think, well, you know, once I get it, it's sort of like when it's really cold outside and you just put on a sweater and you're like, all right, you know, I'll be cool.
Good, yeah.
But then you go and it's fucking freezing. You need a damn
The
jacket.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what people are like. They see the money and they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna be taken care of, not knowing that no, you gotta pay that to the company. You gotta pay them back this. You gotta pay the producer off, the engineer. Not and they're sometimes different people. So you gotta pay off a producer and an engineer.
Before
you know?
you even get to that point, the IRS took half of the check.
Thank you. Of course. So now it's like it's almost, and it's fucked up because it almost makes you feel like you're in debt to people that you don't even know that you owe them money.
Dog. It's crazy. Like I said, I just bought a house, and like when you go through escrow, like they giving you a list of, you're like, okay, you bought this house, it's such and such $100,000, and you looking at it, where this money is going.
Yeah,
You're like,
I just
well,
learned about that.
yeah,
Too.
it's
That
like,
shit
wait,
crazy.
700 went here, 12,000 went there, and you like, processing fee, what all you did was push papers.
Right.
Like you got $600 for that.
Yeah.
Like it breaks it's itemized to how they broke up this money, and it's crazy. And you looking at this like, dog, they making bread.
It's like you trip out when something is like $5.99 and then you end up paying like $8, and you're like, so just imagine, you know?
Dog, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, dog. Like you have to, like when you do get that check, like you said, you got to pay people like in order to keep that machine moving. And so you have to continue to, you have to build a strong team, or put yourself around a strong team that can guide you through to be able to continue to be financially sound to where we can keep this machine moving. Because you can get the check. That's, man, my boy said something to me earlier today. He said spending money is the easiest thing to do. I said, shit, ain't nobody ever said it to me like that. Like, you can get the check.
Yeah.
The hardest part is being able to keep it and being able to keep it going. Because you can get it. Once you get it, oh, I got to take care of moms. I got to do this. I do this. Now, mind you, IRS then already took half.
Yeah.
Right.
So half is already gone. Then a fourth of it, of the half that you got, mom's family, this. Okay, that's a whole nother fourth of a half that's already gone. Then you gonna splurge on yourself. That's another half. That's half of the half. Now keep that in mind. That's half of the half. That ain't even the whole pie. That's half of the half. So that money goes fast.
Right.
And then you got to pay the other people, the engineer, your team. That's a third of the half. Now you left with this quarter of a half, and you're like, shit.
Damn.
I gotta do. Now I owe these
And
people.
this isn't a week. And the dude from last week was like, oh, when I get that $1 million check, this way I'm gonna be lasting for months, bro.
That's how that $1 million is broke down. Now you looking up, you got 250. Now you done went and bought this car. You got a car note. You got a house. You got this house note, and you like, shit, how I'm going?
Remember that music video by I think it was Slim Thug, or
I know what you're talking about.
when he spends $1 million in one day.
Yeah.
I love that video because it shows you the wrong things to do with all that money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because obviously in the video they're not showing the taxes getting taken away. They just show him with $1 million. So, man, I'm having such a great time with this conversation. I want to keep it going. Again, doing my research and my homework on you, I see that, you know, obviously you're a father too, so kids are important to you, I can tell. And I'm sure kids of anybody's kids will be important to you. You will look at them and respect them as if they were one of your own kids, you know. And I've seen that you've been working with this. It's called Dante's Dugout.
Oh yeah.
Would you mind
so,
letting them know what that's about?
So Dante's Dugout is one of my friends, one of my childhood friends. He used to be the manager of the game, with his road manager. But we all grew up in the same neighborhood together. So his son, little Dante LL Kute, that's his son, and his son is a baseball fanatic. Like he loves, breathes baseball. Yeah. And he just turned 8 or 9, and like his thing is the kid got it. Like, and the company was established in 2017, and like I said, he's a kid, but he's always been giving back to other children to inspire them and to give them knowledge of the game.
Right.
Like it's crazy to be inspired by a kid. Yeah. Like just his thinking, his passion for the game, his knowledge of the game. Like it's inspiring.
You would think he's known it for 40, 50 years.
It's inspiring, and I see that same passion in my own son with football. It's a different game, but they have the same passion. Like my son, you can ask him, okay, what was the Super Bowl score 2016? Off the top of his head, he's gonna know it. I don't even know what the fucking Super Bowl score was last year. Who even played in the Super Bowl? But he knows it because he watches YouTube and he does the research. And same thing with Lil Dante. They just have it. Like it's certain kids, you know that they got it. Yeah. And over the weekend, it was his birthday, and he had, they did something that I've never seen before. They had this baseball clinic for children to where they had coaches and players from the University of Fullerton and Cerritos College. They were there teaching the kids, and they had all of the equipment out there. They had batting equipment, they had outfield equipment, they had speed and agility coaches. Man, everything that in training camp that you would think for a professional game, they had this out there for 8-year-old kids. Wow. Like really giving them the fundamentals of baseball. And I'm like, this shit is crazy. Like it was so inspiring. I never seen nothing like this in my life.
Especially, we're around almost the same age. We didn't have that.
No, we didn't.
We had, old ass leftover jerseys from that's 20, 30 years old jerseys,
Yeah.
And that's part of another reason why I wanted to be successful in this industry, because I wanted to go back to my old school.
Of course.
And, because who knows, to this day, maybe they're still wearing those 10, 20-year-old jerseys, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And I just did, I mean to cut you off, but I just did this post maybe 2 days ago at my old school, Compton High School. For the people that don't know.
Colts.
Yeah. Right now, Compton High School is rubble. It's dirt. They tore the whole school down. Really? They're planning to rebuild it up and have it built by 2023. But right now, Compton High there's no school. It's just all dirt. It's tractors right now.
I haven't been by there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the whole school is gone. The kids there, and I just had this conversation last week on Facebook. Damn. It just hit me. I'm like, wait a minute.
That wasn't on the news.
Exactly. The school is gone. Where the hell are these kids at? Where they going to school at?
Right.
Yeah. And the unfortunate part about shit like that is sometimes they're forced into new schools and schools that are like way down the street from, like way off the block from. And not only does that cause issues getting to, especially when parents got to work and they can't, especially when you were going from walking distance to now. Also, you get in. I was one of those kids that got put into a new school after our school got shut down, and it was just fights. It was just issues. It was problematic.
And that's the thing. Like the kids from most of them go to Roosevelt Junior High School now.
Okay.
And it's like, so y'all put these kids, these are teenagers, then you put them with the junior high schools. How is that even possible? Some of the junior high schools, now they had to go to other schools. But what you don't understand is Compton is so small, and you got different neighborhoods. Now you've dragged these kids from the east side of Compton to the south side of Compton. There's gang issues. You're gonna have problems,
regardless if they gang bang or not. Because
whether they gang bang or not, you done drug them to a whole nother side of town, and this is where they have to go to school at. It's crazy that, it's great that they want to rebuild the school, but it should have been done in sections to where you knock off this part, now we over here. Just how you do in any building where you're not just going to knock the whole building down. Where are people going to work?
Right, that's true.
They don't care about that. They knock the whole school down and put the kids in a whole nother school on the other side of town, which is crazy. And I was talking to my guy, C. Ryder. He also has a tag called Compton Activist. Okay. Like he's very active in the streets of Compton as far as frontlining anything police brutality, just the uplifting of the city of Compton. Yeah. And he's a young dude. He's about our age. And I was talking to him this morning, and he was like, man, like I said, school is gone. So they was like, okay, well, homecoming is coming up. They were planning, he said, man, he's like, you're not going to believe this. They were planning to have Compton High's homecoming at Centennial.
Oh, wow.
I said, wait, what? At Centennial. I said, how is that possible? He said, I fought so hard for this. Don't do that. It's going to be a problem. No matter whether y'all want to recognize the gangs or not, you're taking a Crip school and saying you're going to have them at a home. You're going to have their homecoming at a blood school. Yeah. You're going to have problems whether you want to recognize
and
it
even
or not.
if it ain't gang, they're going to be like, man, fuck Compton, this Centennial. You know, it's going to be
you're going to have that tension.
Now all of a sudden motherfuckers got school spirit and shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And he was like, nah, I fought so hard for that. So now they moved the homecoming. He said they moved the homecoming to Compton College. Okay. So it's like, it's crazy. Like if you don't have people in the room that's on the ground, that's on level 1, that's in the streets to know this. These people, they just, oh yeah, we're gonna do it over there. Problem solved. Like, no, your problem is not solved. You're gonna have a bigger fucking problem on the day of when it's going down. Right. But he fought and he said, man, I got so many people to sign, and they moved it. And I was like, that's crazy that he would even consider that, knowing the history of Compton. I don't even understand how the police department even allowed them to even say that this was okay, because they damn sure know. Yeah. But they don't care. Yeah. It's crazy.
It just goes to show that maybe kids are a little bit and that's not to say that there's still not gangs around and stuff, but maybe kids are getting better.
Right, it could be a good thing.
Maybe maybe back then they couldn't, but today's kids, who knows? Maybe they can go to Centennial and get things straight.
And the thing is it's usually not the kids that attend. It's the people that's just coming to
start
the extras.
Yeah, I got you. I heard so don't think that.
Exactly. What, they there? Oh no, we going. Yeah. You don't even go to the school. You 30 years old. You've been out of school. Like, why are you here?
On a 17-year-old.
Why are you here?
Because I know some people that do that shit. Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah. Man, it's good though that you're aware and that you got your ear to the streets, bro, because we need artists like that. We don't need artists that are just gonna follow suit with what's popular and not to shit on those artists, but you know, as a real hip hop head, you know, if we're not shitting on those artists, then we're not real hip hop heads. You know what I'm saying?
You're not being true to yourself.
Yeah, you gotta let them know, like, if you're gonna be in rap, there's certain guidelines that you gotta follow. And although, you know, it's changed, it's versatile now, there's still, if you really look back, you gotta look at like, yo, if you're gonna be hip hop, you gotta, you know, rap about this. You gotta do something for the community. You gotta, you know, you gotta help your people. That's hip hop. It's not, you know, dressing flamboyant just to you know, that still helps too for those who are, say, in the LGBT community. Mm-hmm. They deserve to have their piece, and so I see Lil Nas X and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna hate on dude, but you know what I'm saying, like, I gotta understand, like, he's trying to set a wave and open doors for certain people that wouldn't get recognized if they did stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But we also gotta realize that that's not hip hop, and what people are I know hip hop is this big thing, but you gotta understand there's just some shit that
they pushing a narrative, like, cause you gotta think, like, you pushing, like, what me, like, we talk about this all the time. It's like I support the community. That's do you?
Yeah.
In my personal life, I like girls that like girls, so I don't have a problem with if that's what you do. Do you? My problem is when you're pushing it in front of the kids before they even have a choice to even make their decision on. It's on TV to where I'm seeing two men kissing. I'm seeing two girls kissing on television.
Right.
And
cartoons.
And cartoons. Like,
and now it's even worse than that though. These dudes are and these women, they're like, you know, in some of these shows they're not even for adults, but it's just, you know, you show them like grabbing each other and kissing, and it's just crazy, bro. Like, these are teenagers,
and not even a teenagers. It's they pushing it on the kids.
No, but I'm saying the actors that are doing it, most of them are like young too. They're like teenagers.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, like it was like there was an incident last school year at my kid's school. I'm taking my kids to school, and I see like some people setting up outside, and I'm like, okay, they setting up, whatever. Walk the kids into school. As I'm walking back to my car, I see a lady. She got a Pride bag. I'm like, okay. We had an elementary school, but okay. And as I'm walking, I see someone else with a Pride mask. I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, and I'm still walking to my car, and I'm about to get in. I said, no, I got to go back to see what's going on. I go back, and I'm like, okay. I see they setting up for an event because they got speakers. They got they setting up. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, yo, I need to speak to somebody. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm seeing a whole lot of Pride paraphernalia at an elementary school. Like, is what are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, they bring a vice principal out, and she's like, and I asked her, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? I see a lot of Pride. You know, is there a Pride event going on at the elementary school? She's like, oh no, that's not what we're doing. Like, that's the PTA, and they're setting up for the kids that's going to graduate going from 6th grade to 7th grade. And I'm like,
they know PTA stands for parent teacher, not Pride, right?
Right, but I'm like, but I feel you on that. But you know, we on a school campus, and it's a lot of Pride paraphernalia going on outside. And I'm just trying to make sure that this is not something that we're pushing on elementary kids.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'll speak to the principal, and you know, it's the PTA. So the principal called me. It's like, hey, well, you know, I just want to let you know it wasn't a Pride event at the school. You know, it was Pride Month, and some of the PTA, their parents, and you know, that's just what they chose to do. So I spoke to them about, you know, we're still, you can promote or, you know, support whatever you want to support, but we're still on a elementary school campus. Like, it's just subliminal, just like that. It's like, these are elementary school kids.
We're teaching
like,
kids here.
You making it seem okay. It's what I don't like is that they try to use equal rights, black civil rights.
Yeah.
They try to intertwine them and saying, no, we just want to be all equals. Like, no, like you really made some people. I was just about to. I'm not really fully into it, so I can't say that you made a choice because some people say this is how I was born.
Yeah.
But as far as black people, we didn't have the choice to say we wanted to be slaves. Like, this is just what happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the equality is not the same, and they try to mix it in all the time, and that's the part that I don't like. I understand, yeah, okay, you can have your equality, but don't try to mix them because they're not the same at all.
Nobody was getting I mean, at the time they didn't know about being gay anyways, but they weren't. If you were gay, they weren't getting hung for being gay.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I get you.
It is equality is not the same. As far as gay rights, is not the same as civil rights.
Oh,
like,
of course not.
We couldn't vote. We couldn't read. Like, you couldn't do shit. Yeah. It's not the same. Yeah. And that's how. And it's bad that, like, even if you say anything against that community, oh, they come after you. And it's like, why? What happened to freedom of speech? I'm just saying my piece, just like you saying your piece. I support you. I don't have no problem with what you do. That's your choice. But my thing is just don't push it on the kids.
Yeah. And
that's my whole thing.
What trips me out about that is relationships aren't like regular. I don't want to put anyone down when I say normal relationships, but you know, relationships
traditional relationships. Yeah.
They're not pushed down in front of people's like in front of the kids' faces and stuff. They're not showing girls kissing a guy and stuff like that. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you're pushing out pride in front of these kids, sex becomes a part of it because now they're gonna ask, what does that mean? Like what?
Right. Exactly.
You know, before they weren't asking what does it mean when a guy and a girl kiss, because y'all wasn't pushing that out to them.
And it was just natural.
You know
it's like that's just what how God made us.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the LGBT community. I don't have a problem.
Same. None of us here.
We don't have a problem. And like I said, in my personal life, I like girls that like girls. That's just what I like. It's my preference. That's what I like.
But even though even if you like girls that like girls, if those girls that you like that like girls were pushing it onto the kids, then you'd be unattracted and be like, no.
Yeah, I'm not. I have a problem with that.
So I get you.
I have a problem with that because just don't push it on the kids, because let them grow up and make their own choice.
Yeah.
Like, do not push it on children that don't even have the. And now we finna get into some whole other shit, because we had a whole conversation about this, about if they was talking about Dwayne Wade's son, that he said, okay, he can make his own choice.
A transgender.
If he know what he wants, that's okay, cool. So, and somebody asked a question on Twitter, if a 12-year-old can make their own decision as to what they want to be sexually, why is R. Kelly in jail? I said, holy shit. This was a question that was raised on Twitter, and I just sat back. I was like, holy shit. I don't condone pedophiles, but if you're saying it's select, like
you're saying they have the right to think.
You picking and choosing.
Yeah.
You picking and choosing. That's the part I don't like. I'm a father. I don't care about pedophiles. Right. If you're molesting children, fuck you need to die. But what I'm saying, as far as the systematic part of it, you're picking and choosing when this is okay and when it's not.
Right.
Pick a
side and stand on it.
Yeah.
Respect. I like this guy, man. He's really he that's the whole thing I was trying to say about getting into deep conversation and making people realize who you are as a person and dig deep inside of you, man, because I want them to see that you are just like all of us here, a regular person. You have dislikes, you have likes, you have things that piss you off, but that you're a different kind of person, because while going through all that, you're still trying to bring a change into a community. You're still trying to bring a change into the music world. You're still shit, and they don't have extra shit that they gotta still take care of.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? With you to be dealing with shit and still have the that in you to where you add more. You know what I'm saying? You add more things. You know what? My community is fucked up, but instead of complaining about how fucked up it is, I'm gonna do my part to try to make it better. And I see that in you, bro. You're not just trying to talk about how bad this world is. You're talking about how bad it is, but in a way of you're trying to break down how you can
make it better. Yeah, and fix the problem. Yeah, solutions.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you just talking and complaining about it, what are we doing? You ain't coming with no solutions.
Exactly. So we're here now. This is not my last question, but we're here now to one of the parts of the interview that I wanted to hurry up and get to, man, because I know people been waiting. They want to know who the hell this artist is. You kind of like threw the name out there a little bit, but I don't think they caught it because you said it kind of fast. So for everybody that been wanting to know who this special artist that he's got a song with, that TJ with the Scars got a song with, it's fucking no other than West Coast fucking legend, The Game, man.
Chuck,
Bro got a song with Chuck, man. Like, before we get into are we allowed to play it? Can we play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just put out the official lyric video yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
we can
So,
run that.
so before we get on that, man, like, I want the pre to the video. I want to know the story right off the bat, man. How did you meet? What was it through a connection? Did you meet him like how Nip met him? You know what I'm saying?
I've been. It's crazy that since we got the song together, and I've been doing interviews and having to talk about him. I've never referred to Game as Game to his face.
Okay.
That's just not the relationship we have. I've always called him Jayceon or just Jay because that's who I know him as. We grew up in the same neighborhood, as I said in the beginning of the interview with Dante, Tato. We all lived in the same neighborhood.
Shout out Tato Visions.
Yeah, so we lived in the same neighborhood. We went to school together, Compton High. So I know him as Jayceon. So
nice.
I've been knowing him for decades, since kids.
Yeah.
So that's how we actually met. Even when he was at the beginning of his career, when he put out his first album, the documentary, he was on top of the world, and like I said, I was in the group, the Young Hogs, and we went over there on Brazil, and one of my boys, Young Shane, like I said, we all went to school together, we all know each other, and he like this is how I go back, because he chirped me, he was like, yo, I just seen Game, like he said, give you his chirp number. I chirped him like, man, what's up? He like, man, shit, pull up on Brazil. Now, we in Compton though.
Right.
Two different. We grew up in the same neighborhood, but he went off and did a whole nother thing. So I'm like, we still went. We went and pulled up, but so there's a song with myself, Game, Draysta, and I believe Spider Loc, if I'm not mistaken. Like I know he was there that day.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like we left. I don't know if he put a verse on the actual song.
Yeah.
But there's another song with all of us on it.
This got to be a throwback. The Spider Loc in the Game on the song together. This got to definitely be a G Unit moment.
Yeah.
So you were there and you saw like throughout the whole, even before they were beefing, when he was G Unit and
yeah, I know, yeah.
So
yeah.
you know, I don't want to make this about Game. I still want to make this about you because, as a homie, as his friend, as somebody who grew up with him, like how. That had to have been motivational and inspirational for you to see him up there with Dre and
definitely like when I heard the first time I heard him on the radio, I believe it was probably Julio G that played a freestyle, and I'm like, yo, because he said, man, this Game from Compton. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, this shit is raw, and I don't know who he is. I didn't know, and I called Shane. I'm like, yo. Who was Game? Like, this nigga's on the radar and he say from Compton, this nigga's hard. And he like, you don't know who that is? I'm like, nah. He like, that's Jayceon. I said, you bullshit. He rap? He like, man, that's Jayceon. I'm telling you. I'm like, he hard. Like, that's crazy. Like, I never knew he rapped. So, but, like, it's crazy. Like, and even now today, it's crazy that, because people say, man, yeah, y'all finally did a song together. It should have been happened a long time ago. I'm like, man, it's on God's time.
Hey, you know,
it's on God's time.
We was just talking about this with somebody where they were like, their brother is famous, and damn, my bad. I don't know if you were there with me, 3, but he was basically saying, yeah, man, my brother's famous, and I forgot who his brother is, but his brother's famous, and he was like, and it still didn't. I wasn't able to get a verse from him, and and so long, and it just goes to show, like, this industry, they'll have you on some shit where you can't even give your own brother a feature.
Warren G and Dr. Dre.
Yeah, stepbrother or half brothers.
Yeah, but they didn't. The first time I ever heard them on a record was way after the Chronic, way after the Snoop Dogg, the Dog Pound, the soundtracks, and this was on Warren G's album. This was many years later.
And these fools slept in the same room together.
Yeah, it sometimes it just don't happen like that.
Yeah.
But to get back to the story, it's like people, and it's like, man, he should have been there that long time. It's like, dog, like, we men. We on God's time. I can't say what should have happened then. I'm only telling you this is what's happening now. He did it now, and that's all I care about.
Right.
And this is what we pushing. You on the train or you're not.
And it's all full circle. Y'all gonna help each other out. Game's gonna put you on.
Yeah.
Just like,
No,
you know, at
definitely.
the time you would have put him on when you was with Death Row. But, you know, again, like, we're not gonna make this about the Game. I just wanted to introduce that because Game is one of my favorite rappers of all time. And it's just to be around, you know, I've met him a couple times, but like, I don't have a song with him. So to be around somebody who's close to him and friends with him, like, I truly like appreciate that, man. So thank you for allowing us to play the song, man. And if I can, I'd like to introduce this one, man.
Oh man, do you?
Man, so this right here is a cool song, man. It's TJ with the Scar, featuring West Coast legend The Game, and it's called 2 Times.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
I can tell you want me, girl. I can see it in your face. Come and put it on me, girl. Tell me, can you get away? 'Cause you know I'ma hit it right 2 times if it's feeling right. You know I'ma hit it right
TJ
2
Santana.
times if it's feeling right. You know.
Woke up one morning to some double dutch tie. Little cardio, then I cleaned up the spot. Called my cousin Snoop, say I'm feeling bulletproof. I ain't wanna push a sedan, I hopped in the coupe. Seen a homie Tiny Style, who I hadn't seen in a while. Off that jet light, soaring over strange clouds. Liquor stove for some deli on. Path in the black bottle, now I'm on. Grab a case of the Ace, take it to the face. We don't pass nothing right here, nigga, we getting cake. What's up with your shoulder, she a looker. One flick of the wrist, T-Mac could've took her. Big pimpin' over here, we ain't trippin' on no birdies. Square with one of mine, we gon' do your ass dirty. Cause everybody know that you got to be stopping when you're born and raised in Compton.
I can tell you want me, girl. I can see it in your face. Come and put it on me, girl. Tell me, can you get away? 'Cause you know I'ma hit it right 2 times if it's feeling right. You know I'ma hit it right 2 times if it's feeling right. You know.
Pullin' with the homies on some gang shit. Chain flip, Hub City, always on the same shit. Gang coming through on them dang things. Hundreds out the sunroof, nigga, money ain't a thing. Red bandana, Dior chucks. Watch him slide through the hood with the Nino on top. Nigga act crazy, get his punk ass stomped out. Hub City, baby, ain't never got punked out. Gangsta. Come through in the Maybach, murdered the fuck out with the leather seats laid back. Chop on my lap, Stash got the hammer. Know I'm from Cedar Block and my bitch from Santana. My mama from Hoover, my daddy was from Nutty. I just like my pants and my grandmama love me. Shit, I ain't tripping if you cousin me. Got it on my waist and my bitch ain't
I can
budging.
tell you want me, girl. I can see it in your face. Come and put it on me, girl. Tell me, can you get away? 'Cause you know I'ma hit it right 2 times if it's feeling right. You know I'ma hit it right 2 times if it's feeling right. You know.
Yeah, man. So tell us about that song. Was it a song you already had in mind for Game? Did you hear the song and was like, yo, this gonna be a hit? Or
Yes.
you know, did you? Okay.
I
Or was it after the fact?
No, it was already like I created this. Like I went to the producer Rick Rude. Now Rick Rude is a producer. He's a multi-platinum producer. He produced Destiny's Child, Cater to You.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like he's a multi-platinum producer. He
Wow.
produced a lot of stuff for Rodney Jerkins. List goes on. Busta Rhymes. He's a multi-platinum producer. I went to him and was like, yo, I love this beat. I want you to remake it. He reflipped this one and another one. And the other one I can't tell you about right now because it's my second single with an artist that I can't mention right now.
Okay.
But the shit is big.
Okay.
But anyway, this record is a classic Dog Pound record from the Above the Rim soundtrack, Big Pimpin'. And he remade it, and I sent it to my guy Cole One on the hook. I'm like, yo, write a hook to this.
Big Pimpin' by Jay-Z?
No, Big Pimpin' by the Dog Pound.
Oh,
Before
okay.
the Jay-Z, there was a Big Pimpin' by the Dog Pound.
Okay.
But do you love the Ross? Hell no. Because why is that? Because you're Snoop Doggy
Dog. Oh, I think I have it.
Yeah. That's what this is. It's a remake.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I sent it to my guy, Cole One, and I was like, yo, write a hook to this. He sent me back 3 different versions of it. I heard one, I was like, okay. This was the second one. I'm like, immediately I didn't like it. Then I went to the third one, I was like, okay. The next morning when I woke up, I wanted to hear that 2 times. I'm like, I just woke up like, oh, I want to hear that shit again. Like, I didn't like it the first time I heard it.
It does grow on you.
Yeah, and then I was like, and I listened to it again. I'm like, nah, this the one right here. I text him like, yo, this the one right here, the second one.
It's catchy.
This is it.
Yeah.
And then I had the record for a while, and I wasn't doing music. I got a t-shirt printing shop in Hawthorne, South Bay T-shirt printing. That's what I've been doing since 2016.
Yeah.
I print for everybody. Manhattan Beach Police Department, Manhattan Beach Unified School District, Mattel, Toyota.
You print for SpaceX, right?
SpaceX, yeah. Like that's what I do. That's what I do. So I wasn't even thinking about music, and like I said, you asked me why do I do music to be successful, and my answer was to be successful, to change lives, to put my people in position. It wasn't just about the music. I just wanted to be successful.
Yeah.
So once I achieved success within the t-shirt printing business, I was fully in it because I have a responsibility. I have all these contracts with all of these different companies, so that's what I'm doing. So, but to get back to the story, out of the blue, one of my homeboys, he just popped up at my shop just yesterday. He just got out from doing 21 years.
That's tough.
This is the lifestyle we live. My friend, I haven't seen him in 21 years. He just got out.
Wow.
He got in contact. People get out, talk to Game. He's like, yo, Game asked about it, like, where you at? I reached out to him like, yo, what's up? I DM'd him like, what's happening? Such and such said hit you. Hit me right back. This is my number, FaceTime me. FaceTime like, what's up? He like, nigga, what you doing? My shit, I'm at the shop. Like, nah, fuck that. What's up with the music? What you doing? I'm like, man, I ain't really been doing no music. Man, fuck that. Send me something. Let's do something. I got something in the works. I've been looking for you. I'm like, all right. It's like, all right, I'll send you something to see what it do. He got it. He's like, man, this shit fire. Give me 24 hours. I got some shit for it right now. I can lay it to you and send it to you.
Yeah.
But this shit fire. I want to write it and be able to give you some shit.
That's even more fun. You know what I'm saying?
He said, give me 24 hours.
Yeah.
And 24 hours, I had it back. And this is
man of his word.
2 times.
Yeah.
And now, mind you, at this point, my verse is not even on the song. It's just the hook. My verse is already wrote because I had the record already. I wrote it.
Yeah.
It was already wrote. But I wasn't inspired to do music. But I just liked the beat, and I had my guy make it, and it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
And my guy T-Mac, he's like, man, that one song, man, I let my kids hear with just the hook. He's like, man, they love the hook. They keep, I can tell you on me. He's like, man, we need to do something with that. And we finally end up doing something with it, and that's the record we got today.
Sometimes it's in its own time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the song wouldn't be popping last year, but who knows if like this year it's popping more because you didn't release it last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I mean, releasing it last year, Game wouldn't have been on it.
Right.
Got you.
It just would have been me.
Yeah, I get you. It's just crazy how life works, huh?
Yeah. We all. I know you guys heard it. If you ever want to hear God laugh, tell me your plans.
Right. Yeah.
So. Yeah. We're coming down towards the end of the interview. This is the part that I dislike the least because you know what I'm saying, especially when we're on the road, man. We just been never endless talking like friendship shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your vibe, your energy is just it just flows, and really like people that know me, I don't really talk that much because if it ain't really too much to talk about, I ain't saying shit.
Right. Same here.
But I'm passionate about the music and just the conversation. It's just flowing.
And I can tell.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking certain questions because I know that you're not just gonna give me it's fun or I like it.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna be like I like it because of it. You know what I mean? And so anyways, to my question that I was gonna ask. And I always say this to everybody, but I gotta let you know I do this to everyone, so don't feel like left out or anything. I'm singling you out. you're not and I'm not dissing at all, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're not rapping, you don't know how to rap, you never made music in your life, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Shit, t-shirts.
I think you were gonna say that. I figured you were gonna say that. Yeah.
Like
Because
shit.
that's what I was doing 2 months ago.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
even before then,
Yeah. Before that though.
even
yeah.
before that,
no, I think that's that good question because they're different from each other.
Yeah.
I mean, also fashion and music go along.
Right.
Your business is still, you're not doing concerts or selling tickets for concerts at your business. You know what I'm saying? You're
Right.
selling merchandise like clothes.
Yeah, I have a service business.
Yeah, so it's different. So that's cool. I can take that answer too.
Yeah, because to be realistic with you, anything other, my dream has always been to do music. Like, in my mind and the people that know me, today, I'm supposed to be this big superstar. Because that's what
being around Dre and them,
that's what I've always seen for my life. That's the only thing that I wanted to do. So to walk away from music and not even, it was just not.
I just, not to cut you off, I seen the whole transition though, bro.
Yeah.
I seen you going hard with the music, and then I seen you posting nothing but the t-shirt business, and then now it's the music again. So it's like,
it's just like it's just that motivation. Like, I can't just do it. I've done this for so long to where it has to make sense for me. Like, I just wasn't motivated to create, because to be in that space, you have to be in a creative space to be able to create. So there was nothing else that I wanted to do but music. And the t-shirts, the printing, it came, like you said, fashion and music, they go hand in hand. I had a brand called Authentic, and I started making hats, and then end up getting machines to print for myself, but it didn't work out. End up having to shut down, and it's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do? It's like, well, I need to print for other people so I can keep things going, and that's how it started, and here we are 5-6 years later.
It's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
And it's just, if you can do it, you are, bro. I look at you. I know I just met you today, but hearing your story, like, you are a success, bro. Like, to make it in the music industry, you are a success, bro. So, only difference is now you're adding that success into business is business regardless.
Exactly.
So now you're taking what you've learned. I hear a lot of people that are rappers now that sell drugs, like really sell drugs, and they tell me the same shit, man. The music business and the drug business is the same thing.
It's the same, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing illegal shit by selling drugs. These record execs, they're doing illegal shit by not paying you what, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So, you know, it's just like, and I'm not saying you're a drug dealer. I was just using that as what they would say, but I'm bringing that to you as far
we
as
selling dope.
but I'm bringing that to you as far as like your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Your how you sell albums, how you sell merch, how you sell tickets. That's all gonna it's all gonna transfer to how you sell clothes, how you talk to people. If you're trying to sell a ticket to somebody, you know what I'm saying, you're going to talk to them a certain way. Now, difference is now you're trying to sell them a shirt or even get them to buy packs, you know, to support them, you know, and it's just, I think it's all going to go hand in hand, man, perfectly. You already succeeded. I like to think you succeeded at both, you know, 7 years and to have your clothes business up, like that's great, dude. So.
No, it's definitely a success, and that's why I said that's why I wasn't even thinking about doing music, because I just wanted to be successful, and I've seen success, real success, through my printing business, and that's all I really wanted. So and not being inspired with the music, it just didn't. It wasn't there. So I had full time to put into this business to grow. To have employees, like
that too. You gotta hire people.
And good help is hard to find, man. It's so hard to find. Like it's not easy running a business, a successful business.
That's not an understatement.
It's not easy.
Not even, and listen, and not to downplay anything, but not even just as successful. Any business,
It's-
period.
yeah,
It takes a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know some successful businesses that started off and you would think, damn, how the fuck did you make it this far when you were like this low? But you know what I'm saying? It's just that will to never give up and to keep going. And you know,
for me, I don't even think about it. Like, I'm just doing it. I'm just living, building. I'm just continuously building.
True.
And you know how they say, like, when you're in it, you don't really get to reap it or see. You just going, and that's how it is. And it looked up, and it just continuously growing. I'm getting more contracts. It's getting bigger. It's just growing. I'm in it. And it's the same, like, even where I started a whole another thing with child support, and it's just from my life.
Yeah.
Like, I was a victim.
Break that down for us. Talk about that.
I was a victim of child support fraud by the county of Los Angeles.
Elaborate on that. Like, they were saying you were fraud, or they were frauding you out?
They were frauding me.
Oh,
they frauded
fuck.
me for 21 years.
Oh, fuck, dude.
21 years.
For a child that wasn't yours?
For a child that wasn't mine. I'm a minor at the time that this child was born. And at the time that, which we found going through the hearing, long story short, I represented myself in a 2-year hearing against the county of Los Angeles.
Wow.
And during this 2 years, we found that at the time the child was conceived, I wasn't even old enough to produce semen. I don't think y'all heard what I just said. Like,
that's some shit, bro.
At the
You
time
were
the
young,
child
young.
was conceived, I was not able to produce semen. Scientifically, it's like it's impossible for him to be able to produce semen at that age. That's just one thing.
One of many.
That's one of many. On top of that, where they served me at, allegedly, they served at a vacant house. They signed somebody's name and said that they served someone in my family. I had to bring obituaries from current to way back when. This name is not in nobody's obituary.
Right.
Who is this person? I had to subpoena LADWP, the owner of the house, to come and say that at the time when y'all say y'all served somebody at this house, that house was vacant. The owner came and said, I have police records. That house was vandalized twice, before and after then, because no one lived in it.
Right.
LADWP, Los Angeles Water and Power, came and testified on my behalf against the county of Los Angeles. At that time, our records showed there was no power there for months. Nobody lived there.
Man, that's a fucking shame.
So, once, like I said, I represented myself, and my case got dismissed for extrinsic fraud against the county of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So, immediately, walking out of the courtroom, child support is fraud. My case just got dismissed for fraud for 21 years. I represented myself. So there, child support is fraud was birthed. I just start tagging child support as fraud. And now people's asking me, yo, how did you do it? How did you do it? And me having a business sense that okay, let me create a business, because y'all keep asking me and y'all want to know what I know. I have all these affidavits that can assist you, because I found out a whole lot of shit that they do that they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I got it all.
The power of knowledge, dude.
The power of knowledge. And no legal background.
Yeah.
It's just common sense. And following, I used their evidence to give everything that they said that they used and they sent to me. I looked it up, researched it. Okay, this is what y'all was supposed to do. This is what y'all did. This is what y'all not supposed to do. I made it about the evidence. I broke that shit down, and the case was dismissed for fraud. And right now, I currently have a civil lawsuit against the county of Los Angeles for 21 years of damages. They offer.
Are you okay to talk about stuff like this online?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm child support is fraud. They can't. There's
No, I meant like the civil.
Well, yeah, it's they haven't put any gag orders on me. In order for them to shut me up, they're gonna have to drop a bag. I'm talking a big bag, millions,
Makes sense.
to shut me up. 21 years, a fraud. So it's child support fraud. It's not an attack on women. It's an attack on the system that was put in place strategically to hold minorities, the black, the brown. And this is just not me talking. This is the numbers to prove where the highest amount of people that they have on child support. Where are they at?
Right.
It's crazy. So yeah, so child support is fraud. That's something that I created. But like what I'm saying, even then, like I knew what I was saying was right, but I just kept going and going, and then one day it was over. It's like, oh
Because
shit.
you did that, though.
It's like it's over.
Yeah, you made that happen. You made it possible to, you know.
Yeah, so
congrats
that's
on
the
that,
thing. Like when you in it, you don't see it. You hoping for the best, and you knowing what you know. You just in it. You in it, and then next thing you know, you got game on the record.
Sometimes I like to say this. Sometimes success can't be seen; it has to be felt.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I have learned a lot from this interview, man, and unfortunately, man, it's that time. But before we get going, man, I want you to let these people know who you are again. Tell them where your IG is at. If you got any concerts coming up, you got shows, you got an album, let them know, man. And we'll put your link on the bottom
For
too.
sure. So I'm TJ with a Scar, formerly known as TJ Santana. I started off as TJ Santana.
That's a dope name too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, right.
I fucking like that name, bro.
I just done it for so long, and it's just reinventing myself like K. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, touche.
It's
I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? Titty Boy, 2 Chainz.
Yeah, Titty Boy. Yeah.
It's just reinventing. I've done TJ Santana for too long. Like it's like I need to be inspired.
Yeah.
Like right now, I feel like a brand new artist. Like you said, you looked it up and you was like, "Damn, ain't got no more songs." Like where like.
And it's a crazy how I thought I was doing my research and I couldn't even fucking find.
But had
this thing is from Young Hogs, like,
right? But had you typed in TJ Santana, then you're gonna find the Young Hogs. You're gonna find Mac 10, Dub C, House of Wax soundtrack. I've done that already. I've done that for so long. It's just like it's just a fresh start, and it feels fresh.
That's fun though. That's interesting.
Yeah.
A challenge too. Like yeah. So let them know.
Oh
man.
yeah. So TJ with the Scar. You can check me out on Twitter, Instagram, all the socials. TJ with the Scar. We got the Is Child Support Fraud documentary coming. Nice. The Game single is the lead single off the soundtrack.
2 times?
Yeah, 2 times. That's the lead single off the soundtrack. Is Child Support Fraud. We're taking it back to the old school, man, with the movie, with the soundtracks, we just like that's just what I know. Like I'm using the tactics that I know. This is what I know. This is what I grew up on. We got content. We doing a documentary. Okay, we need a soundtrack. That's how we mesh them together. So that's what we doing. So if you holler at me, South Bay T-shirt printing.
Where's that again?
We in the city of Hawthorne. South Bay T-shirt printing. You can check us out on socials. South Bay T-shirt printing. And that's what we doing. We got the Game single right now.
Shout out the Game.
Yeah. So
or did you say JC on?
Yeah, JC on. Right. Yeah. So I got the single JC on right now. Yeah, man, and we locking in on a video shoot date.
Good, man. I can't wait.
Oh,
I can't wait to see it.
it's
hopefully we can pull up, man.
Yeah. It's
a little cameo.
It's a whole rollout. Like we got a whole rollout that's gonna come, and I'm excited, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We here at LA Unlocked, we're excited for you, bro.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
Like I'm grateful that three always gets a lot of the interviews that we do, and you know, a lot of it is he does it he knows what I like and the type of people I want to interview. So if three likes you, it ain't always that he likes you for himself. If he brings somebody, he wants to like you for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He wants to make sure because I'm the one that has, you know, he does the a lot of the behind the scene.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as, you know, the questions and going to get to know an artist, you know, that's on me. And if I feel like I don't see this person trying to do this shit for a very long time, I'll let them know, you know, off the bat, like, I don't know, I can't fuck with this person. I can't interview this person.
Yeah,
so,
y'all work good together.
And it's never been that. That's never been the case. I never had to tell anybody that he brought, I don't really fuck with this person. I don't think they, no. So it's just, it's dope how, you know, a lot of y'all keep reaching out. You know, Ellie reached out, and Ellie, that's my homegirl, man. So I'm always gonna,
SDP Digital.
Sasha Pisterman. I'm always gonna show
Guru,
up. So
Guru. Yeah, that's my team. That's my publicist team.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you gotta have a great team, and it's a team of women, and they go hard.
They do.
They go hard.
They do.
And
Trust me. I seen the
go
email
hard.
that they sent. And everything professional.
Oh no. Yeah,
And plus, I already know. I've spent time with Ellie and Sasha, like personally, like meeting them, and I already know these women aren't just regular women. They're business mindset women, which means they can hang with the boys, with the men, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Sasha probably helped more artists than most of these men have.
No, they go hard. They go hard, and that's the team. You gotta have a good team around you and that's a gem for a lot of you artists out there.
Break it down.
You right, and when you starting, you don't need a manager because there's nothing to manage.
Right. Plus, you don't have that money.
You
to
don't.
hire.
You don't have that. Well, not even like with a management. You're not paying the management. They're getting a cut off of what they bring to you. So you don't pay your manager.
Right.
They just get a 10 or 20% fee, 10, 15, depending on what y'all negotiate.
Right.
But if you don't have the value, they can't go and get you no bread. Because who's gonna pay MC Young that nobody knows?
Yeah, true.
So you don't need a manager at that time. What you need is a publicist. Out to get, you need a publicist because they're going to go and get you in places that you don't even know exist. They put you in rooms. That's what a publicist does. Public relations. They have relationships with people in the business, and that gets you where you need to. That puts you in front of different audiences. So, starting off, get you a good publicist.
Y'all hear that? Y'all, I hope y'all paying attention because I know there's some artists out there that's watching and wants to know the game and wants to know what's going down. This dude has been, man, bro, to be back there with 2099 with West Coast biggest, you know what I'm saying, sensations. Like, learn from this dude. Please check him out on his Instagram. He shouted it out already.
TJ with the Scar.
Please listen to his music video coming out with the game, but also please check out that song that he got with the game. TJ, man, I can't even thank you enough, bro, for giving us your time.
No, thank you for having me.
This was a great ass interview, bro.
No, it was real dope. I really liked the interview a lot.
So now you see what I mean, where I want them to know who you are instead of just a musician. Because like I said earlier, bro, a lot of labels when you get signed, they don't let you do interviews no more.
Yeah.
You know, it's and I'm not gonna say a lot. Some labels, they don't let you do interviews no more. They feel like, you know, the whole rule number 16 of
Mystique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the rule number 16 of the law? What was it? That book. I can't think of the name right now, but it's basically the rule number. Oh, the rules of the laws of power. The laws of power. I believe that's the name of the book, and it talks about rule number 16 is be mysterious.
Yeah.
You can't keep putting yourself out.
That's the whole mystique. And that's something that's old school. Like that comes from. That's why you didn't see Rakim and a whole lot of interviews. You didn't see them back in the day.
But then again, you got to think about it. There wasn't a lot. There wasn't MTV on your MTV yet.
Right.
And MTV sure wasn't playing hip hop.
Yeah, but even then, like if you go back and you look at a lot of those old interviews, when they did do interviews, they had on shades because they're not trying to give you everything. It's like you know what I'm saying? I gotta still have that mystique. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's the old school way of, and it works. Like you do. This game takes and takes and takes and takes and takes and takes. So you do have to cut it off and keep something for yourself, because it's good and bad. Because I've seen artists that gives you they're in front of your face every day, and they're very successful.
Right.
But then there's the artists that don't, and they're very successful. And then there's some of the artists that don't, they're not successful because they're not in your face every day. So it's.
I look at artists like that for two perfect examples that aren't in your face and that are still like mad successful. The Weeknd, you don't see The Weeknd posting
Kendrick.
like that. Kendrick too, but Kendrick just don't post at all. But I'm
That's
talking
what I'm
about,
saying. You don't see him nowhere.
yeah,
Until his album come out.
that's true. But J. Cole, I was gonna say but yeah, Kendrick is a good one too. But I was gonna say The Weeknd and J. Cole because they're the ones that's been dropping.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
that's been on hiatus and dropping.
Mhm.
You're right about Kendrick, but it's just Kendrick hasn't done that. I mean, what was the last album he did? Damn, that was like 2-3 years ago. So you know, he is obviously he's capable of dropping a random without no promotion, but he just hasn't yet. So that's what I'm saying. For right now, it's been Cole and The Weeknd who.
Yeah.
They'll take long ass breaks and then out of nowhere drop. You know, it don't be a year, but you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Man, thank you for having me. It was dope interview.
I can tell you want me, girl. I can see it in your face. Come and put it on me, girl. Tell me, can you get away? You know, I'ma hit it right. 2 times if it's feeling right, you know.
TJ Santana. Woke up one morning to some double dutch tie. Little cardio, then I cleaned up the spot. Call my cousin Stu, say I'm feeling bulletproof. I ain't wanna push a sedan, I hopped in the coupe. Seen a homie Tiny Style, who I hadn't seen in a while. Off that jet light, soaring over strange clouds. Liquor stove for some deli on. Path in the black bottom, now I'm on. Grab a case of the Ace, take it to the face. We don't pass nothing right here, nigga, we getting paid. What's up with your shorty, she a looker. One flick of the wrist, T-Mac coulda took her. Big pimpin' over here, we ain't trippin' on no birdies. Square with one of mine, we gon' do your ass dirty. Cause everybody know that you got to be stompin' when you're born and raised in Compton.
I can tell you want me, girl. I can see it in your face. Come and put it on me, girl. Tell me, can you get away? Cause you know, I'ma hit it right. 2 times if it's feeling right, you know. I'ma hit it right. 2 times if it's feeling right, you know.
Pullin' with the homies on some gang shit. Chain flip, Hub City, always on the same shit. Gang coming through on them dang to dangs. Hundreds out the sunroof, nigga money ain't a thing. Red bandana, Dior chucks. Watch him slide through the hood with the Nino top. Nigga act crazy, get his punk ass stomped out. Hub City, baby, ain't never got punked out. Gangsta. Come through in the Maybach, murdered the fuck out with the leather seats laid back. Chop on my lap, Stash got the hammer. Know I'm from Cedar Block and my bitch from Santana. My mama from Hoover, my daddy was from Nutty. I'm just like my pants and my grandmama love me. Shit, I ain't tripping if you cousin me. Got it on my waist and my bitch ain't budging.
I can tell you want me, girl. I can see it in your face. Come and put it on